Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? Great. Let me tell you how happy I am to get here. Sorry about that. There were orange cones and there was traffic and then I missed the exit and now here I am. Isn't it amazing how it always works out in the end? So thank you all for being here this morning. Let's say hi to our friends online. They did not have to drive, lucky them. We're happy to have all of you as part of this community. We come here to remember the greater truth of who we are, which is that right where we are, God is always, and that spirit of life is what animates all and everything that we do and that we are. So it is good to come together and remember the good stuff, yeah? So this morning, our practitioner on platform is Reverend Drac. He'll give us our opening invocation and a little inspirational reading, and then we have some fabulous music. As you can see, we have Jeff on keyboards, and he is accompanying the lovely Tina Meeks. All right. So we are going to start with a song. I'm going to invite you all to stand up and sing Spirit is in This Place. And spirit is joy, and that is what we have right here. So I'm going to invite you just to close your eyes, take all that in, and breathe it into your heart. For it is here in the heart where we find sanctuary, where we remember that love and peace are always present, that we are the very light of the world. And it is from this place of knowing that we remember that you and I and Spirit are all one.
So we breathe in gratitude, and we exhale that which we give to others, the hospitality that we are. Knowing that God is present in this place right here and now, within ourselves and in this room. It is the most gracious presence that has ever existed, because it gave of itself to create everything that is here through its conscious existence. Without it, there would be nothing that is here in this room, nothing. It is nothing and it is everything, all at the same time, as crazy as that sounds. What a beautiful thing. And because of that, I am a piece of that picture. I am an extension of that gratitude and of that hospitable creation of itself that it is. Because it moves through me, I am here because of it. Its very existence says gratitude, hospitality, extension, and giving. It's a miracle in everyday living. So I know that the truth is that everybody in this room in every moment is a gift. It is an extension of that hospitality, of that gratitude, of that givingness that exists out of its creative self. It is spirit, and we are that. So every minute that we give and that we receive is a gift. It's an extension of the spirit of hospitality. We are here because of the creative energy of hospitality. What an amazing thing. When I think about that, that's It's moving. So I am so grateful. We are all so grateful to know that this is our reality, that we are a gift and we give as gifts. It is our nature to be hospitable to one another in reality. It's what we breathe, it's what we are. So we release this understanding from our mind out into the world, knowing that it is what it is. And we are grateful for that. So it is. I love thinking about that. Gratitude and hospitality are two of my favorite topics I love. This is a quote by a woman named Mirabai Charin. I don't even know if I'm saying her name right. She lived in a Sufi community. She had a lot of amazing gifts. And one of her favorite things in the world was living in community. And she wrote this little story, and I love it. It looks like 2 pages, here it is, but it's also in 16 point because old man needs to have some big stuff to read it. So, once there was a very poor and devoted woman who always prayed to the glory of God, asking very little, if anything, for herself. But one thought, one desire continued to recur, and finally she asked, petitioning God, that if it were possible, she would love to prepare a special meal and have God share at her table. And God, in their love for the goodly woman, said they would indeed come the next day and share a meal. Filled with ecstasy, the woman went out the following morning with her meager purse and purchased such delicacies that she felt would please God. Returning home, she prepared a banquet and waited patiently for her most honored guest. Soon there was a knock on the door, and when she opened it, there stood an old beggar asking for something to eat. Being a woman of God, she would not turn the beggar away, so she invited them in to partake at her table. The beggar felt as if she was in a dream, such a feast set before them. The beggar felt as if he was in a dream, such a feast set before him. He finished all the food, thanked his hostess, and left. The woman was only slightly disheartened. She gathered up her purse, her coat, and hurried back to town to get more food for her special guest. Her funds were less now, and so the food was not quite so elaborate. Nonetheless, she lovingly prepared another meal and sat to await the arrival of the enmity. A few hours went by, and there was a loud knock on the door. This time it was an old gypsy woman with no teeth, who was deaf, who spoke quite loudly and was, rather rudely, insisting that any true believer in the Lord would not deny her something to eat. Though the woman had no more money with which to buy more supplies, she invited the woman in and offered her a seat at the table. The gypsy ate everything and did not even thank the woman and left without closing the door. By now it was beginning to get dark both inside and out. The woman's faith was strong, so that, though somewhat distraught, she did not give up, but rather looked around her humble house to see if there was anything she could sell in order to buy more food to set before God. She hurried to town with a little silver cup that had been in her family for several generations, but she was willing to part with it for the great honor that God was going to bestow upon her, the sharing of a meal. Late in the night, she rushed home to prepare yet a third meal. She waited and waited until once more there was a knock on the door. Holding her breath, she slowly opened the door to find yet another poor man in the guise of a wandering monk in search of a meal. Again, she offered hospitality with as much grace as she could muster in her disappointment. This man also ate all that was set on the table and left after blessing the woman for her kindness. So discouraged and dismayed was she that all she could do was nod slightly in acknowledgement of the thanks. Now it was too late, with no way to buy any more food and no more money with which to buy it. She got down on her knees, weeping such heartbroken tears. She asked God what she had done wrong. Why had God not come to share at the table as promised? And God, in all their divine compassion and mercy, lifted the woman off her knees and holding her close to their heart said, "My child, I enjoyed your hospitality so much that I came 3 times. I love that story. Kind of predictable, I know, but it's so sweet. It's just so sweet. Tina, please come on up.
As always, it is such a pleasure to be here. I don't care how large or small a group is, the soul, energy, the love, the hospitality, which Reverend Tracy's going to be talking about today, is something that feeds me, and I hope it feeds you. I am going to sing a song that is considered, considered to be the national Negro, they used to call it the Negro national anthem. There was a time when we were Negroes. There's so many words we've gone through, but we've always been precious souls. And I just want to say something about that, if you don't mind, Reverend Tracy, because there's some interesting things that are happening, and I understand there was a discussion about Juneteenth. And Juneteenth, if you don't know, happened, we are celebrating it because in 1863, Abraham Lincoln, if you know our history, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed the African American slaves, that were people who were enslaved in this country. But so many people didn't know. It wasn't enforced, especially in the southern states. So the general, they had to send the army to go free, let people know. So in Galveston, Texas, June 19th in 1865, 2.5 years later, after the Emancipation Proclamation. Forgive me, although I sing better than I talk. But anyway, 2 years later, they were told that they were free. And woo, we're celebrating that now. But I want to tell you something. When I leave here today, I'm going to sing at an event, you know, a Juneteenth celebration that's being held in the city of Manhattan Beach, where 60 years after that general marched into Galveston, Texas, 60 years later, there was a couple, an African-American couple, that purchased land in the city of Manhattan Beach. And it was beachfront property. They had it for I don't know how many years before the city, the Ku Klux Klan, and a lot of angry residents decided that they wanted to take it from them. So they took it from them by eminent domain. And it was returned to them. Gavin Newsom declared it, that the descendants of these people, the couple, were able to reclaim that. It was given back to them, which is really an amazing thing. You know, it just goes to show that yes, we make mistakes, big, big, big mistakes that impact our lives for centuries. And yet we can turn that around at any time. And I think that the testament of the fact that people rise up again, despite all of the things that happen to us. And it's not just African Americans. There are people all over the world, and that's not to diminish the experience of my ancestors, but for people who are dealing with issues of gender, all kinds of issues, people who are dealing with discrimination based upon whatever it is they have been, whatever way they came to the world by God. We still can turn that around and show love and show hospitality and show that the human spirit is bigger than all this crap, right? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to sing this song, Jeff.
All right.
And this was written to help generate encouragement for those who were enslaved. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky.
So today, we light our candle for Father's Day and the summer solstice. You know, I'm going to get it in a minute. Let there be light. So we have the opportunity to honor our fathers this Sunday, and recognizing that the masculine dimension within all of us is a representation of spirit, the representation, the presenting of spirit through and as us, as the source, spirit as the source of our material needs. Fatherhood is a symbol of the goodness and integrity of life, and it's an opportunity to share these divine attributes with others, to live with the sense of spirit at the center of our own being. This idea of fatherhood is a dimension of every person that is the provider, the initiator, the seed planter. It's a love intelligence that calls us to be cause in our life, to be that which creates. And it's fitting that it falls on or near summer solstice every year. One meaning of the word father is to give rise to. And of course, our fathers have given rise to life. And the sun every morning gives rise to a new day. And this is the longest day of the year in our hemisphere. Now, elsewhere on the planet, it is the shortest day of the year. And so we are just reminded of this endless cycle, this circle of events that continuously moves, that we are never left in one place, in the dark or in the light. We always move between the two. And a quote from Richard Rohr: "The healthy masculine holds space with steadiness and strength, not to control, but to protect what is sacred. When we honor the sacred masculine in our homes and relationships, we create the structure in which love can flourish freely." So the talk today is called Hospitality. And I'm going to start with the poem that is in the front of the book, Science of Mind text, from Ernest Holmes, and it's called "Peace Be Unto Thee, Stranger." "Peace be unto thee, stranger, enter and be not afraid. I've left the gate open and thou art welcome in my home. There's room in my house for all. I've swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also, it sparkles in the light. I have set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest and refresh your soul. Eat of the fruit, drink the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome." Everywhere you go these days, you walk into Starbucks, you go to a store, you cross someone's threshold, and what do you hear called out? "Welcome in." When did we go from welcome to welcome in? Well, I had to look it up. But there's this idea that we are welcoming people into our homes, our stores, our places of business with an energy of, "We're so glad you're here." And I went to find out where that came from, because I was raised on welcome. That's what I always heard. And it seems like lately I hear welcome in everywhere. So there's actually been a study on how that happened. So apparently 2014 thereabouts is the first time that the researchers could find reference to welcome in, and it was a Southern expression. Now, if you've ever been to the South, you know they have quite a few quaint little expressions. Anybody ever been fixing to go to lunch or something? Yeah, okay, that's from the South. So here's this Southern expression, sort of a dialect local to the place, but post-pandemic, it began showing up everywhere. People were saying it all across the country. And there's a name for that phenomenon. The people who are, the sociologists who study language call it, change from below the surface, change from below. And it means it's below our level of consciousness that this rises up as a social phenomenon. And this happens with language quite a bit. Something that is localized becomes common. So this idea that from somewhere below our conscious self, we had a need to speak out differently when we said welcome. And this is post-pandemic. So when you think about that, here's this year and a half that we were completely isolated from one another in person. And when we were finally able to gather again, to be together in the same room, it really was welcome into my presence, welcome into the same room, welcome into this space. We're happy to have you here. You are welcome here. We were waiting for you. We had been waiting for a very long time to be able to be together. The thing that also happens with language is if you're speaking with someone directly, one-on-one, especially if it's someone you don't even know, one of the things that will happen is after about 15 minutes, your speech begins to harmonize. You begin to have commonalities in the way you say things, the way you stand, even your nonverbal communication. We begin to mirror each other. Next time you go to lunch with someone, maybe not even a good friend, just someone, notice that when they sit like this, you're doing the same thing. It's human nature to align with, to attune to each other. So welcome in is the title today, but it is this expression of acknowledging the presence of someone that you are happy to see, whether you know them or not. And see, the thing about this hospitality is that our nature is to be welcoming. If we're not stoked by fear, we want to know who you are. We want to chat and have a conversation. We do it all the time in small doses. But it really is a cultural shift. So when you think about the ancient tribes, when you think about how people used to live and what their spirituality was like, each tribe had their own god or gods. They each had their own protector or source of life. They had their own creation story. And what it was is this God, this supernaturalness, would protect them from all of the danger out there. Well, eventually, over time, spirituality started to shift, and from one God, from many gods, we went to this idea of one God. We went from the tribal God to a more universal God. Well, that kind of interrupts that whole conflict action thing where you defend yourself against everyone. It's like, well, how is my God going to protect me if he's like protecting everybody else too, right? So the shift from tribal to universal is something that happened in all cultures, but it changed the way we understand spirituality. And so this idea of hospitality is to welcome the stranger, to support the traveler, to offer food and drink and rest to those who are passing through without throwing up walls and closing the gates and battening down the hatches. This season of liturgy in the Christian tradition is Pentecost. And it begins with the reading of the stories of Abraham and in Acts, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, both stories talk about an alternative to tribes or empire. So they reject this idea that everybody we don't know is an enemy, and instead welcoming everyone into the tent or the table. So Abraham had resettled his family in a land that did not belong to his tribe, bringing with him this idea of a universal God, and found his way to open his tent to the stranger. And in those days, that was a big deal, right? In those days, there was an idea that the people going by, if they were of a different religion, that they could contaminate your family somehow, or somehow be detrimental to you. And in fact, what he said was, they're traveling, they're tired, they're hungry, they're thirsty, come into the shade, let me feed and give you drink, and then send you on your way. The very next story that is taught this time of year is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. And the reason that it was destroyed was not because of some deviancy. It was destroyed because they were a walled city and refused to open their gates to the strangers. The person who was saved from Sodom and Gomorrah was Lot. He was Abraham's nephew. He was raised differently than the people who had been born there. And so this idea, the only way that we're going to flourish as a species, as humanity, is not to fight with each other over where we come from or what we look like or what language we speak. We have to be able to get along. So there's a tension between this hostility and this hospitality, right? This idea that I'm afraid of you or I welcome you. And we go back and forth and back and forth. So I looked up the word hospitality. And I'll tell you, it's a whole nother talk, but I'll give you the short version, sort of. The root word for hospitality is the same as hospital or hospice. It's about friendliness to guests. It's about being a host. It's about offering familiarity or friendliness to guests, the stranger, the sojourner, the visitor, or foreigner. However, the root word is also the same root as, there it is. I'll just give you the list. Guest, hospice, hospitable, hospital, hospitality, host, hostage, hostile, hostile, hostility, hotel, and xenophobia, the fear of strangers. So hostility and hospitality have the same root. It's this whole idea of the relationship between the guest and the host. We have a custom, even today, where we go to someone's house, we bring a gift, right? It's like you bring a hostess gift. That's how I was raised anyway. Some of my younger relatives don't do that, but other people do. But why is that? It's originally to create a bond of trust between the host and the guest. So we have this cultural phenomenon of changing the relationship between the host and the guest from this fearful, careful, probably don't want to let you in, to please have a seat at the table. Now, even Abraham didn't let just anybody in the tent. He refused entry to visitors that wanted to harm his other guests. They came looking for his guests, and he refused them entry. So it's not about opening the door to anybody and everybody if it puts us in danger or is somehow toxic to us. It is, however, about not assuming everyone is a serial killer. Just a thought. Now, Henri Nouwen, as a Catholic priest, and in the 70s, he was writing about how society seemed to be so increasingly full of fearful, defensive, aggressive people clinging to their property and inclined to look at their surrounding world with suspicion, always expecting an enemy to suddenly appear or do harm. Does that sound familiar? But what he insisted then remains true today, that one of our primary spiritual needs is to convert hostility to hospitality and turn the enemy into a guest. And he says when we do that, then fearful strangers can become guests, and the guest and host can reveal their most precious gifts and bring new life to others. It shouldn't be, therefore, limited to a literal sense of receiving a stranger in our house, but as a fundamental attitude toward our fellow human being, which can be expressed in a variety of ways. So we have a lot of examples of that right now, this week, as the World Cup continues, and I want to tell you about a couple of them. You've been listening, right? To the stories of what's happening with the visiting fans from all around the world. And I want to start with a story about Lawrence, Kansas. Now, this is oversimplified, but basically all of the international teams were like given a map, pick a place. Here's your city of choices where you can be hosted. And for whatever reason, Algeria picked Lawrence, Kansas. Could they be any further apart in culture, understanding, food, anything, right? Probably because it's in the middle, right? We'll just go to the middle of the country. Well, the city has about 100,000 people in it. They held Soccer 101 classes to teach locals the rules of soccer along with lessons about Algeria and their fan culture. Not only that, but the Kansas City, the University marching band learned the Algerian national anthem and played it for them before they began their training. Now, what the team did is when they were getting ready to do their training, they had like an open house. All the kids came. They played with the kids and taught the kids all about soccer. The restaurants were cooking halal, which is the religiously clean way of eating and cooking, that according to the Algerian belief system, right? And the people themselves, well, they got merch. They put flags up all over the place. They got the jersey, the shirts that the people could wear. So everybody's wearing Algerian World Cup shirts, and they've got flags in every window. And I was listening to this old guy be interviewed by a reporter, and what does Lawrence, Kansas know about Algeria? And the older guy goes, he's like in his 70s. He goes, well, we don't know very much, but we're really glad they're here. That's what hospitality looks and feels like, and how hopeful it is to celebrate that, to hear about that, to read about that now. But really the big story is about how that amplifies this feeling of community, and where did we see that the most but in Boston with the Tartan Army. Has anybody not heard of the Tartan Army? All of the Scots that descended upon Boston, because that's where they were based for their training camp and so forth. Now they're playing in New York. The fans thought they were going to stay outside of Gillette Stadium, way too expensive. So the Scottish population of Provincetown, Rhode Island, which is just a train ride away, invited them to come stay in Providence. They found rooms for them to rent. They found cheaper hotels. They made sure they had transportation. They welcomed all of these fans. Now, I don't know if you know, but the Scottish folks showed up with bagpipes and kilts and cones. You know what they do in Glasgow? They take traffic cones and put them on the heads of statues. You know what they did in Boston? They took traffic cones and put them on the head of all the statues. You know how many statues there are in Boston? A lot. A lot. Ducks, the little parade of ducks have cones on their heads. You got to go look this up. I'm not making this up. But here's what happened. All that hospitality offered was then repaid. Because what the Tartan Army fans did is they held fundraisers and they donated money back to the city of Provincetown. $10,000 for the cancer unit at the Children's Hospital. $10,000 for a youth soccer program supporting underprivileged children in Rhode Island, and $6,500 for Craig Ferguson, who had walked from Los Angeles to Boston to raise money for Scottish mental health services. You see, what happens when you are in community consciously is that abundance is a given. In fact, it's only in community that we really find abundance. Diana Butler Bass writes that in the human world, abundance doesn't happen automatically. It's created when we have the sense to choose community, to come together in ways that allow us to generate, celebrate, and share a common store. Whether that scarce resource is money or love or power or words, the true law of life is that we generate more of whatever seems scarce by trusting its supply and passing it around. Authentic abundance isn't in secured stockpiles of food or cash or influence or affection, but in belonging to community where we can give those goods to others who need them and receive them from others when we are in need. This idea that community is actually a cause of a sense of abundance. That a country that has been so tortured by how difficult things have been lately for most people can welcome in a horde of people who bring with them great joy and an expectation of delight. Many of these teams had not been in the World Cup for decades. These people are here to party. You know, they drank Boston Dry. The weekend that they won over Haiti, their first match, they won. And being good Scots, they hit all the bars. And they drank the bars and the liquor stores dry. They ran out of beer in Boston. You know, they have an Irish population too. You put the Irish and the Scots together and it's done. It's done. But didn't we really need to know this? Didn't we need to feel this sense of celebration, this sense of excitement? Did you happen to see people had recorded out their high-rise windows when the Knicks won the championship for the first time in 50-some years? They won the NBA championship. The entire city was cheering. The entire city was cheering. We need this joy. This kind of energy comes from community. It comes from looking for and recognizing things to celebrate. That's in us. That's ours to do. So welcoming in the others who live in this world, on this planet, who bring their joy with them, who accept our offers of hospitality and in turn return that abundance to us, is priceless. And it doesn't mean that everything we've been struggling with isn't still going on. It is. But I have more energy today to look at and work with and counter all of that because of the great joy that this community has been expressing. And it's the truth. They're both true. We are struggling in many ways, and we are benefiting from the World Cup being held in our country. Diana continues to write, abundance is a communal act, the joint creation of an incredibly complex ecology in which each part functions on behalf of the whole and in return is sustained by the whole. Community not only creates abundance, it is abundance. And if we could learn that equation from the world of nature, the human world would be transformed. Now, I'll give you one more little tidbit which has nothing to do with spirituality necessarily before I give you my closing, but it's called the World Cup 15. Apparently our foreign visitors are putting on weight. They've been posting pictures of all the magical foods and excitement that they found in U.S. restaurants. You know what one of the favorites is? Taco Bell. It's like, really, you guys? I mean, I know there's a certain appeal, but really, that's what you're going to take away with? That's what you're posting for the world to see? But you know what the other one is? Well, no. The better one is ranch dressing. There's no ranch dressing in Europe. Ranch dressing is like exploding on social media. So Hidden Valley, not one to miss an opportunity, has created a way for them to get a bunch home. Now, you can't bring big bottles of dressing through TSA. TSA had an ad out that said, put your ranch dressing in your checked bags. So Hidden Valley created a case where you can slip in your individual bottles of dressing and zip it up and put it in your bag. So I will just say that community also allows for creativity. And God knows we need creative solutions right now. So I close with a very short poem. I do not have an author's name, but here's what it says. It's called Underneath We Are All the Same. He prayed was not my religion. She ate. It wasn't what I eat. He spoke. It wasn't my language. She dressed. It wasn't what I wear. He took my hand. It wasn't the color of my hand. But when she cried, it's how I cried. And when he laughed, it's how I laugh. Namaste. So I invite you to join me in a centering prayer. That place within where we go to remember and recognize that there is only one power in this life, and it is a power for good. That the energy and essence of all life is love. And it shows up as peace and harmony and deep joy. And this life is my life. It is the life of everyone I meet. It is the life of everything I see. And wherever there is any form, there is a spirit within. And this energy of joy, of love, of exuberance, of expression is the truth that I welcome into my own daily life. Remembering to open the doors of my heart and mind to all that is available, to the gifts that are there, the people I may meet, the music I might hear, the love that is expressed, the gratitude, the joy. There is a place in me that recognizes that those who come across my path are not always enemies. That offering kindness more often than not gets kindness in return. And that this circle of abundance, this law of giving and receiving, of reciprocity, is always at work for me and for everyone. And in this I find comfort. Where there is cruelty or unkindness, where there is a dismissiveness about something or someone, I only bring love to the table. I bring that bigger recognition, that greater perspective that says all are in this circle. All are part of the tribe of humanity. This community, this unity with another is simply the expression of the one life that we all share. And it is good, and I am grateful. So blessed by the beauty of the world, by the creativity of people, by the uplifting that happens when we come together in joy, in friendship, in trust. I simply release this word into the consciousness of the one mind, for I know that in God this is already true, already happening, already where I am and who I am. And I allow these ever greater experiences of connection and love to show up as they will, in time, on time, every time. And I let that be so, for it is true, for it is God, and so it is. So we have an affirmation in your program that I invite you to repeat after me. Today I make life welcome, friend and stranger alike.
Today I make life welcome, friend and stranger alike.
I see the divine in all and set another place at the table.
I see the divine in all and set another place at the table.
And so it is. All right, we invite Tina to come back up. Absolutely.
Ooh. I close my eyes and count my blessings. Heaven's fountain overflows. Angels sing on high and here below. Every rock and every creature join in perfect harmony, praising God and helping me to know the joy of living, the joy of giving, the joy of being right here, right now, the joy of caring, oh, the joy of sharing, yes, the joy of being right here, right now. When I pause to count my blessings, precious memories flood my soul. The scent of morning blossoms everywhere. Oh, I am strong and I am healthy. I will sing the song of love, urging all humanity to share in the joy of living, oh, the joy of giving, the joy of being right here, right now, the joy of caring, oh, the joy of sharing, yes, the joy of being right here, right now. Ooh. When life can be beautiful, oh, you let go. Ooh. And life can be so wonderful when you finally know the joy of giving, yes, the joy of living. Oh, the joy of being right here, right now. Oh, the joy of sharing. Oh, the joy of caring. Yes, the joy of being right here, right now. Ooh, the joy of being right here, right now. Ooh, the joy of being right here. When, everybody? Right now, right now. Oh, right now.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, the joy of giving. We invite our ushers forward. Never one to miss a good segue. All right. Oh, look, Susie, I found them. She go running off to the other. I found them. Sorry. You know, some days are just like that. Yeah. All right. So knowing, thank you so much. Thank you. So knowing that this idea of giving includes the idea of receiving, knowing that we plant seeds of love, which then blossom all over, which is what summer is all about, all of these planted seedlings coming to fruition, we know that what we give within this community, the ways in which we contribute, in turn grows into something which goes far beyond our walls. So, if you will, say our prosperity affirmation with me, please. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. All right. So we have beautiful flowers this week from Carmen Deverell. Carmen's not here. How? Where?
They're mine.
They're yours. It says Carmen, but really it's Mary in disguise.
No, Carmen got them, but I'm taking them home.
Okay, Mary. Oh. Oh, all right. Mary's special. Yeah. Know that you too can sign up to donate our Sunday flowers. You can put your name on the list and purchase them and then take them home when you're done, or give them to someone you love, yes. Wednesday night, 6:30 on Zoom. Nisa will be leading our meditation. If you have any questions, make sure you talk to her. She's in the back there. Hi, Nisa. Let's see. This coming Wednesday from 1 to 4 is the second half of the banner making course, which are these banners that Unity puts around the room. You know, we share our space with the Unity Center. And they've started last week, and they're going to complete this week. We have a new class coming up in July. New dates. I had originally said it would start on July 9th, which meant I would have not been here for the last class. So we have bumped it back July 2nd and ending July 30th. So it's every Thursday night in July, 5 weeks. And it's called Ancient Wisdom and Science of Mind. And it's discussing and showing and having you read a bunch of stuff about how like Native American traditions and Eastern religions teach the same spiritual principles that are taught as science of mind principles as well. There is a sign-up sheet in the back. Let me know if you have any questions. No book required, just you'll get a workbook for class. We have a workshop coming up facilitated by Elise. It's called the Gene Keys. There are flyers in the back with information about it, and she is here also. Raise your hand if you want to ask questions about that. That is being set for 6 weeks beginning in July. It's on Monday nights, correct? Mondays, I think.
Right.
Yes, Mondays.
4:30 to 6.
4:30 to whatever. 4:30 Mondays, 6 weeks.
5:30 or 4:30 to 6.
Yeah, there's a flyer in the back. It's got it all written down for you. Okay. Right, 4:30 to 6. There it is. I found it.
Okay.
All right. The next Reiki share is July 18th, so that's a couple weeks away. Do talk to Sue if you've signed up if you're interested in trainings to get the dates and times of that. And if you haven't been to Reiki, you might want to try it out. You might be surprised how what might sound like woo-woo to you actually works. Just saying.
I do have dates too, so.
Okay. What was that, Nisa?
Oh, I was just, what she
Dates.
said.
There are dates. When does it start?
It's gonna be August 1st.
There you go, there you
There I
are.
am. August 1st, Saturday, and August 8th, Saturday, from 12 to 4. It's just 2 Saturdays.
Okay.
Really awesome. Training you, certifying you in Reiki so that you can pass Reiki on to other people.
Lovely.
If you're interested, please see me.
Okay. And what else? Potluck, thank you. It's not on there. Potluck, July 5th on Sunday after service. Bring food. We bring the chicken, you bring everything else. You know, whatever floats your boat. Anybody make lemon bars? That would be really nice. I love lemon bars. Now, do bring something to share. If that doesn't happen, come anyway. We've never run out of food yet. We will still feed you. And there's a seat for everybody at the table. Yes.
There is a sign-up list, just so we kind of have a general idea about how many people.
Oh, okay.
So we get enough.
Yeah, right. So if you're planning on coming, sign up in the back, even if you don't know what you're going to bring, just so we can get a head count and not run out of chicken. Obviously, we don't want to do that. Let's see. Wait for it. Wait, I had one more thing. It was like, oh my gosh, I didn't tell him that. Wait, I didn't tell him that. I don't remember what it was, so you'll get to hear about it next week, whatever it was. It was something to do with World Cup. And more fascinating things happening with... I do know that Boston and Glasgow are going to be sister cities. That's what they decided, that they were going to continue this relationship of cones and beer and stuff. Oh, did you see the video of the Norwegians teaching the row? So Norwegian fans coming up an escalator, somebody's going, and everybody goes, hoo, hoo. They had a video of the whole parliament doing this. I mean, it's just, there's just joy everywhere. You just have to be looking for it. All right, let's stand up, move to the sides of the room, and let's sing.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.